starvation in Gaza.
Somebody say thank you. No other country gave anything. We gave $60 million.
Modern wars have no shortage of weapons. You've got lethal missiles, rapid fighter jets, and different kinds of bombs. But in Gaza, Israel is using an ancient weapon, an ancient and brutal weapon: hunger. Israel began blockading Gaza in the month of March. They cut off aid and food to almost 2 million people. And look at the scenes now. Families clamoring outside kitchens, children with their bones bulging out. If you have a conscience, you cannot stand this. Thankfully, most of the world did. They put pressure on Israel to relax the blockade, and this weekend, they did. Israel announced tactical pauses in Gaza. They would stop the fighting in 3 specific areas from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. In that time, aid convoys can enter Gaza, but only using designated routes. On Sunday, the shipments began trickling in. On land, trucks crossed over from Egypt. In the air, aid packets were dropped from planes. Take a look. The good news is aid is entering Gaza. The bad news is it's not enough. The United Nations says Gaza needs 500 to 600 trucks of aid every day. But on Sunday, only 120 trucks entered, so the scale has to be ramped up. Just one problem, though. Israel may not be open to that. For starters, they're not even acknowledging the problem. Prime Minister Netanyahu is denying the obvious. He says there is no starvation in Gaza.
Israel is presented as though we are applying a campaign of starvation in Gaza. What a bold-faced lie. There is no policy of starvation in Gaza, and there is no starvation in Gaza. We enable humanitarian aid throughout the duration of the war to enter Gaza. Otherwise, there would be no Gazans.
Well, that is simply not true. 147 people have died of starvation in Gaza. 88 of them are children. Yet Israel refuses to acknowledge it. That is the first problem. Secondly, the attacks continue. Overnight, Israel launched airstrikes on Rafah. They killed at least 25 Gazans, and they're not stopping. Israel is asking Hamas to release the remaining hostages. If not, they say that the gates of hell will open.
If Hamas does not release the hostages, the gates of hell will open in Gaza. Beyond what is being done with great force, we will do, and will do much more.
Many would say the gates have already opened. Children are dying of hunger almost every day. If this is not hell, what is? Just look at some of these pictures. Gaza resembles a biblical wasteland right now. There is rubble all around, not a single building in sight, and streams of men carrying food on their back. Those kids should be in school. They should be hating algebra and geology, not lugging bags of flour to their tent. Seeing these pictures, something has snapped. Even Israel's allies have had enough. Last month, almost 30 of them wrote a joint statement. They asked Israel to end the war now. Israel may not have heeded that advice, but they have been forced to let aid in. So it's a start. But what next? Well, the global campaign continues. Last week, France decided it will recognize Palestine. This week, the Dutch have made a move. They have listed Israel as a security threat. Let that sink in. The Netherlands is a key ally of Israel, yet they have listed Israel as a threat. The list also includes Iran, Russia and Turkey. All of them have been accused of running disinformation campaigns, of trying to manipulate public opinion. Israel is part of that group now for the Netherlands. In the UK, Prime Minister Keir Starmer is under pressure. He has recalled his cabinet members. He will hold an emergency meeting on Gaza. Chances are recognition of Palestine could be on the table. But that's not Starmer's trump card. His trump card is literally Donald Trump. At this point, only one country is standing with Israel, and that is the United States of America. If Trump backs him, Netanyahu will keep fighting. If not, he may stop. As we told you, Trump is in Scotland right now, but he is keeping an eye on Gaza. Trump says Hamas is playing hardball, so Israel is going to have to make a decision.
And I said, when you get it down to a certain number, you're not going to be able to make a deal with Hamas, because once they give them up, then they feel that that's going to be the end of them. And what I said is exactly true. You know, they had a routine discussion the other day, and all of a sudden they hardened up. They don't want to give them back. And so Israel's going to have to make a decision.
What decision is that? Until last week, ceasefire talks were happening. The US and Israeli negotiators were in Doha. They were working out a 60-day ceasefire. But on Thursday, Israel and the US withdrew from the talks. They said Hamas was playing hardball. Now I know what you're thinking. Why doesn't Hamas just give up the hostages? Why not end this suffering? Well, you just heard Trump's assessment. For a change, he's spot on. If Hamas releases the hostages, it will be the end of them, the end of Hamas. Israel will have no reason to be restrained, not that they are right now, but you get the point. Starmer is hoping that Trump can break this stalemate. He has warm ties with the US president. He also has a knack of appeasing him, and we saw that earlier this year. Starmer invited Donald Trump for a state visit to the UK, that too for a second one. No leader has ever been invited for a second time, so Trump will be the first. The question is, can Keir Starmer maneuver Trump again? Maybe dangle the prospect of a Nobel Peace Prize. I know we often joke about it, but if it can end the hunger of Gaza's children, it may be worth a try.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor
Hindi,
$30 trillion ka karjo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Sekali radikali.
Japanese,
$4 trilhões do idioma.
Portuguese,
Por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select the language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.